Okay, so the first day I walked into this class, I was scared out of my mind. It was the first day back from our big Christmas break, and I wasn't even enrolled in the class. So as a freshman, I had no experience crashing a course, so I had no idea what to expect. Fortunately, when I walked in, I saw Parisa sitting in the back row. I recognized her from my sorority, but I had never talked to her before, so I took a chance and I sat next to her. Luckily, it proved to be a good decision, and over the past month or so, I've gotten to know a lot about her. And the main three things I've learned is that her family is the most important thing to her, but school comes right behind them, and her passions and her hobbies trail right behind that. So Parisa was born on June 24th, 1997, in Newport Beach. But now her and her family live in Irvine. She lives with her mom, her dad, and her younger sister. Her younger sister's name is Melody, and she's in the 10th grade. So thanks to her family support, she's been able to do really well in school, and she thrives to do even better. As a bio major, she wants to go to med school after she's all done at Cal Poly, but she's not exactly sure what kind of doctor she wants to be yet. And she says if she's not at the apartment, she's definitely at the library at the UU studying, because she takes school very seriously. But out of classes, she's involved in a lot of different clubs and organizations also. She's part of the American Medical Student Association, or ANZA for short, which is just an organization of future doctors. She's also part of PolyFit, which is an organization run through the kinesiology department that conducts fitness tests on students, faculty, and other SLO residents. And then on top of that, she's also in a sorority, Kappa Kappa Gamma, which is how I knew her before the class started. She's on the Academic Excellence Committee due to her dedication to school and her willingness to help others. Clearly, as much as she loves school, she also likes to be involved in a variety of different things, which is an interest that developed long before she left for college. Her sophomore year, she became a cheerleader, and by her senior year, she was captain of the varsity team. Her senior year, she got to cheer with her younger sister, which was very special for her. But by far, her biggest passion is playing the piano. She's played the piano since she was 5 years old, and she's studied music theory since then as well. She's actually going to minor in music because of her love for the piano. She completed the Certificate of Merit for Music Theory for the state of California, which is a very prestigious title to earn. There are 10 levels that you have to complete, and you only get to test for a new one once a year, so it's very impressive that she's had enough motivation to keep with the program all this time. In closing, Parisa loves to study almost as much as she loves her family and playing the piano. She's seriously one of the most genuine people that I've ever met, so I'm lucky I chose this course to crash. So if you ever find yourself not knowing anyone in a class, but you see Parisa, you should go sit next to her, because I know it's one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Okay, Rachel, compared to your first speech, how do you feel like this one?
That's alright. I don't know. I try not to say as much, but I say that a lot when I'm just like talking to people, so I'm working on it.
Okay. That's all we can ask.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I looked at my notes a lot more than I did the last time, but I think that's because I had more on my paper this time than the last time. But yeah, that's all.
Okay. All right. Audience, if you could, questions, comments, feedback for Rachel about her speech.
Okay, there's nothing.
Come on, audience.
Yeah.
You did well. It was very
Thank you.
Had a good pleasure.
Okay, teammates.
I had structure. I definitely identified your purpose statement as like her family, school, and her hobbies. Something you could improve on was maybe sticking to some more simple concepts than elaborating on them. Instead of like throwing in a bunch of stuff, there's kind of a lot of stuff you're doing as far as our hobbies go. And then also trying to make the conclusion flow more naturally instead of trying to blatantly stating it. That's something you can work on. But it had a nice structure to it. It was easy to follow.
Thank you.
I did delivery, and I thought you had like a good pace, so you didn't speak too fast. So that was good, so it was easy to follow. I would say like to work on is like not playing with your hands. It was a little distracting at one point. So you either can still, no, it's okay, like you say either can still or like use them to like,
Yeah. Yeah, I had delivery or content. And like Scout said, some of it was a little like listy, I guess, with the activities. Maybe just choose like the one she's most passionate about and go into more detail about that. And then, but it seems like you know each other very well and you did a nice job of being genuine about it.
Thank you. Okay, Rachel. First of all, before I go, Carissa, what did you think?
I think it was very good, and he made me sound a lot like, I don't know. It was nice.
Okay, all right, Rachel, first of all, I thought what you wanted to cover in your speech, you had a clear idea of leading up to it in terms of the main points that you were gonna be covering. I think that was rather clear. So your thesis was laid out for your audience, and you followed through with that in your speech. I would say make your transitions a little more clean, so you know when you're moving from one to the next. They were relatively fluid, but it almost felt like the family was a little shorter. I might have maybe considered something, a story or something that sort of integrates that all together, or elaborates that a little bit more. And I would also say, I appreciated the fact that you told us about her piano experience and sort of what accomplishments she's had there. I think that was nicely laid out, and I might have maybe added what her favorite, her favorite piece that she accomplished, or what she felt was her greatest accomplishment, just to get her voice a little bit more in there as well. And that'll help break up that sort of list quality too, when you can integrate that story or whatnot, an example or whatnot. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay. So that would be that.